Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Say hello to the
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
We've got basketball action at the AT&T Center. We're in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge is joining us from the sideline. For the Grizzlies, their last game, a win against the Nets. And what really made that outcome a surprise was how lopsided it was.
I just thought the defense was porous. Got any shot they wanted, really, for most of the evening.
I'll give them credit. Even though they were facing very little resistance, they refused to play down to the level of their competition.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. They've got Marc Gasol. Evans out there with Davis. Then it's McLemore. And it's Harrison in at the point. The shot's good from Evans. Now you can expect both these teams to push the tempo, Steve, and get scores in transition. I'm sure as a player, these are very fun matchups.
Yeah, they are. I mean, because you know you get a chance to put points on the board. And yes, defensive strategy is going out the window. You just have to turn, get back on defense, and just pick up anybody. If you don't communicate, there's going to be a layup or a three or somebody's dunking on you. Love transition basketball.
Yeah, we can see a lot of gaudy numbers, too, huh? A lot of big individual performances. And here are the Grizzlies now after the basket by San Antonio. The shot by Harrison, no good.
And this is what he gives you, the ability to contest the shot without fouling.
Perimeter defense at a premium these days. You see the value in this kind of effort. You get a chance to see the elite court vision there. Excellent pass.
Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Gasol, a screen on Parker. Harrison passes to Gasol. Over Gasol. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Gasol's got his first basket.
The great hands and footwork of Marc Gasol paying dividends inside.
Here's Davis, and the rejection by Leonard. Snatched away. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That is his first foul of the game. About 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Davis sets a screen from the arc. Tries again, and there's the play by Evans inside. Evans has got 5 now.
Tyreke is good at playing bigger than his size. A great finisher, close to the cup.
Basket, good.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
A lot of laziness going on out there. Still early in the game, but that needs to get worked out.
Nailed from three-point land.
Tyreke has solid floor awareness. Outstanding at knowing when one of his guys is open.
Oh, fellas, that was vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one.
Getting there up in age. We know Tony Parker was the Spurs' top scorer for half a decade from 2011 on. Their offense was built around his slashing ability.
A different look now for San Antonio. Rudy Gay's checked in for Gasol. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for Memphis. Troy Daniels comes in for Ben McLemore.
Hey, this is what happens when Kawhi gets the ball. He draws in the defense, and you leave someone open.
From 15 feet away, and that one comes up a bit short. And guard Tony Parker, now 35 years of age, bound one day for the Hall of Fame. Last season, the lowest minutes average of his career, around 25 minutes a game.
Yeah, his game has always been based on quickness. He's lost his step, and it's been challenging. But he studied John Stockton, Jason Kidd, and Nash to see how they remained effective.
Now Now here's Gay. Off the mark. His first miss of the game. 1 for 2. Pushing it up. Now it's sent it over to David Aldridge, who was able to talk with head coach David Fizdale.
Well, Kevin, he said for them to be successful, they have to act like, and I quote, a swarm of angry bees, unquote, every time the ball goes into the post. If they don't, he thinks they're going to be in for a long night. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Laverne, he's checked in for Aldridge. And it's Anderson in for Kawhi Leonard. Then for the Grizzlies, Wright comes in for Marc Gasol. And it's Ennis in for Andrew Harrison.
You talk about the new term 3-and-D players. Well, Danny Green is the perfect example of that. Over 2/3 of his shots come from long range.
And that one misses. And Green's shooting has tailed off a bit over the last couple seasons, now entering his 30s. Steve, you think we've seen the best of Danny Green?
Well, you know, he bounced back last season, shot over 38% from the three-point range, but his field goal percentage wasn't much better. As many threes as he shoots, you'll take it.
Now, here's Mills. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Grizzlies.
And the three-pointer was their preferred weapon. It can be a risky strategy, but it's one that more and more teams have embraced over the years.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Martin's checked in. The Spurs offense for a long time built around the penetration of Tony Parker. Drive and kick.
Well, that's the one thing you love about Pop and the Spurs organization. They understand their style and their system. As he's gotten older, they've gone back to the block, posting up Aldridge and Kawhi. Leonard also fills that ball handler role in attacking and pick and rolls.
First trip to the line for him here.
Finished the season last year around 80% from the stripe.
The Spurs making a switch here. Baertson is checked in. Spurs leading by 4. Green dishes to Anderson. And Mills kicks to Laverne. Spurs working the ball around now. Anderson with the ball. And it's Martin picking him up. Shot clock at 6. Here's Laverne. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Here is Daniels. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Brooklyn. There's the pick. Wright sets a screen. Daniels kicks to Parsons. And again, Memphis no good. And so it's San Antonio with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We've got more NBA basketball. And now the second. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Martin is out there with Wright. Then it's Ennis. Then there's Chandler Parsons. And it's Daniels in at the 1. Here's Murray. It doesn't go for him. Now the Grizzlies take it the other way. And this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
And they're facing the team that dismissed them from the postseason last year. So certainly a little payback in mind.
Right inside. Defended by Laverne. Yes, that goes in. Wright's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Grizzlies. Martin against Anderson. Back to Laverne. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And back when Dave Joerger was the coach of the Grizzlies, Steve, he admitted they were slow and old. Is that still the case? Does this team need to get more athletic?
Yeah, I think they do. They play at a slow offensive pace. They don't get a lot of transition points. Their outside shooting has improved, but they can use more athletes.
Parker's checked in for Green. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. McLemore is checked in. The Grizzlies trail by 6. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, David Fizdale was one of the most respected assistant coaches in the league before he took over in Memphis last season. He spent 8 seasons in Miami, where LeBron James played for him. And LeBron said he has every quality that would fit a head coach. He's confident in his ability, a great learner, a great communicator. So it was great to see him get the nod, and he's proven so far why he's capable of the job. Kevin?
And an endorsement from LeBron is never a bad thing, D.A. Thanks so much. Here's Murray, and it's right, sending it back.
The length of right is tough to deal with. If he's nearby when a shot is going up, he can send it back in a hurry.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Deontay Davis comes in for Wright, and it's Harrison in for Ennis. Harrison passes to Davis. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly struggling here with the foul, still early, and just one more will put him over the limit.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for the Spurs. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Marc Gasol's checked in for Jarrell Martin. Parsons for 3, bangs home the trifecta. Parsons got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Parker dishes to Leonard. Score it, his third straight basket in 3 tries.
What Kawhi does in the painted area, the tenacity he displays, it's phenomenal.
2 minutes now played in the second quarter. Parker kicks to Murray, passes it to Leonard. Here's Bertans, he's guarded by Davis. Here's Gasol, and finished off by Gasol.
With authority, Pau Gasol turns up the aggressiveness. Always a good sign for this team.
Left side, Davis. Poked loose. Leonard with the steal. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Goes up. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. They get Marc Gasol.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Steve, when you reach this midway point of the season, the All-Star break approaching, how many teams are looking forward to get some rest at this stage?
I think a lot. I think sometimes when you have guys have that nagging injuries, you're looking forward to that break. Some teams that have been playing their best, you want to just get some time away, and hopefully you can come back at the All-Star break. So having this week-long All-Star breaks now, it helps the body, it helps the mind, and a lot of these teams, it gets them back on track.
Kind of hit that reset button, huh?
Yes, I've been hitting that a lot.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. And the Grizzlies enjoying the longest stretch of sustained success in franchise history. Break 7 consecutive seasons making the postseason.
And this group has gotten as far as the Western Conference Finals. And a lot to be said for that consistency. But, of course, everyone's in this for the rings. Interesting to see where they go from here to turn the corner into a true contender.
It's blocked. Lets a floater go, and the rejection by Leonard. Doesn't go for him. Gasol with the defensive effort. Last game for the Spurs, they picked up the W against Dallas.
And just looking at the stats, you can see, man, they were efficient on this night.
They made shot selection a priority, and you see their percentage from the field. Outstanding.
Gasol can't get that one to fall.
Tough miss. He found some space inside the arc, but he could deliver.
Leonard the pass to Aldridge. Back to Leonard. And Davis sends it back. Here's Evans. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Evans has got it back down to single digits for the Grizzlies.
And whenever there's a man open, Gasol will find him. An all-around team player.
And Davis sends it back. Here's the floater. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Brandon Wright's checked in for Davis. Ennis comes in for Andrew Harrison. And Daniels subbed in for Ben McLemore.
Yeah, another turnover there, but guys, overall, they've taken really good care of the basketball.
A different look now for San Antonio. Laverne, he's checked in for Leonard. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Parker. Evans outside. Wright sets a screen. Daniels dishes to Gasol, and he drops it in from the low post. Gasol's got his second basket.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Here's Aldridge, and it's Wright sending it back. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Daniels, no good.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
Mills with the steal. Green. No good on that last second attempt there. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports
Hey,
Halftime
everybody.
Show.
Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith. And it's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They hold a 4-point lead. Kenny?
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to.
That's it for halftime.
And it's been a back-and-forth game. Spurs leading by 4. Skilled tandem of Leonard and Aldridge at the 3 and the 4. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. And it's Gasol at the center position. That's the San Antonio 5. Here's Aldridge. And Davis pulls it down. Memphis has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Shoots over Leonard. Here's Gasol. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Gasol inside. He's up against Gasol. It's Gasol missing. Here's Harrison. Off target from outside.
A very disappointing start to this half. 3 attempts with nothing to show for it.
And Steve, Kawhi Leonard, one of just 3 players to increase his scoring average in each of the past 5 seasons.
I mean, you look at what he's done. He's become an elite scorer, the 3rd longest streak of double-digit scoring games in franchise history, surpassing Timmy D. That's the consistency that you expect from a franchise player.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Harrison kicks to McLemore, and Gasol comes to help. Here's Harrison.
They can't buy one right now. 0 for 4 already to start the third.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts. And buckets like that have been hard to come by. Not the most exciting game. Both sides look way off in terms of their shooting.
You have to give credit to the defenses, protecting the rim, closing out hard. This one's been a grind.
Knocked away. Gasol wide open. He fires. Marcus Aldridge grabs the miss.
A high percentage look from the mid-range. Might have been surprised that he was so wide open.
And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. Well, Steve, with all the sharpshooters in the league right now, we'll always see the pick and roll. It's never going to go away. Usually it was a small and a big. A guard getting the screen, the big then rolling inside and getting the pass. But now because the players are sometimes, we see smaller lineups, a lot of guards on the floor, 3 guards at a time. Sometimes you do see a guard-to-guard pick and roll. You see different sizes combining with the most standard play in the league.
You're totally right, Kevin. You look at the pick and roll, the hardest play to defend, and now we have the pick and pop. The bigs are not rolling, and like you said, we have guard-to-guard pick and roll. You want to just create a mismatch, and because of all the spacing, it's so hard because when a guy rolls down the lane, there's such a long run for defenders now. So that's why the pick and roll is great, especially with the new defensive rules. You can't be in a lane, so it opens it up even more.
Here's Pertinis. Oh!
Yes! Yes! The veteran eyes see all. Frenchie with the tremendous look to make that play happen.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos And what a play it was. Martin kicks to Davis. Drops in the layup for 2. Davis has got 4 points this quarter.
And you got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Harrison kicks to Davis. Martin wide open. He fires. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. And it's 6 points for Martin.
Because he's inconsistent from range, the defense dares him to take that shot. Bad gamble there.
Dropping dimes all night. He's been completely locked in.
Unselfish basketball, that'll make you very popular amongst your teammates. Attacking on the interior, I like that attitude.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
The reason why is you like to get value every time down the floor, but that does take a lot of discipline.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for Bertans. Green, he's checked in for Murray. And it's Mills in for Parker. And Laverne gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. There's 1:26 left here in the third quarter. Now here's Ennis, covered by Mills. Grizzlies have shot 2 of 5 from the free throw line. And the first one at the line is good.
You know, Kevin, it's easy to forget, but Greg Popovich was almost fired by the Spurs back in '99. Rough start that year, under 500. The players caught wind that if they didn't win the next game in Houston, Pop would get the X.
Now here's Ennis. Martin the screen. Ennis kicks to Parsons. There's 53 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3. And amazing to think about an all-time great like Popovich being on the hot seat. His players went to the mat for him, though, didn't they?
Some huge performances by Tim Duncan, among others. They really came out to support Pop. The Spurs finished that season on a tear, going on to win the franchise first NBA title.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
Ennis kicks to Daniels. Shot from 12. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Ennis has got it all tied up now for the Grizzlies. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
Here's Martin. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. Now here's Evans. He's tightly guarded and out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
I mean, clearly not on the same page right there. You hate to give away possessions.
Mills passes to Aldridge. And Aldridge slams it in.
Let Aldridge get to the rim. You know you're in trouble.
Evans. No good that time. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. It's San Antonio. They're up by 4. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Down low, Wright and Gasol. Then it's Ennis. Then there's Tyreke Evans. And it's Daniels in at the shooting guard position. It's Gasol missing.
You know what? He tried to lay it in at the point of attack. Just too much defensive pressure on that play.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Flexing at the rack. Leonard doing what he can to fire up his teammates.
And for Memphis, they're shooting for the game at 42%. Kicks it to Daniels. Gasol a screen. Daniels dishes to Gasol. Gasol missing again.
And they could have used that trying to cut into this league. He's been off all night.
Gay kicks to Mills. There's the pass to Aldridge. Gay dishes to Leonard. And the layup's good off the glass. And now it's an 8-point Spurs lead.
Well, we know he's been confident with the shot. A big reason why they're ahead in this game.
Leonard's gone 5 of 7 from the floor here. Evans kicks to Gasol. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And some changes here for the Spurs. Pau Gasol is checked in for Gay. Ginobili comes in for Danny Green. And Tony Parker subbed in for Patty Mills. The Grizzlies also changing it up. Deontay Davis is checked in for Wright. Then McLemore comes in for Troy Daniels. And Andrew Harrison subbed in for Ennis. Gasol no good.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
And because of his size, that's a difficult shot to contest.
But it's not just the size, it's the natural feel for the mid-range game. Not everyone has it.
Some solid defense from Gasol. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Here's McLemore. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Spurs have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. And Gasol sends it back.
Gasol with those long arms is a shot blocking expert, especially down low.
Harrison kicks to Gasol. Here's Davis, and Davis throws it down.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling.
Crucial points. Kawhi stepping up to the plate when his team needs him the most.
The Grizzlies have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. Harrison passes to McLemore. Dishes to Davis. Now here's McLemore. He's covered by Ginobili. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's Gasol missing.
He's an okay long-range shooter, but not with a defender right in his face.
And finished off by Gasol.
And Gasol is someone you turn to in these situations. Need a big basket, he's ready to go.
There's Harrison, covered by Parker. Gasol, a screen on Ginobili. Here's Davis, and Gasol sends it back. Ginobili dishes to Parker. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. And here we go, the Grizzlies on a fast break. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
The length and anticipation of Aldridge, a tough combo to score against.
Leonard with the bucket.
And he runs the floor with a purpose that time. Excellent play.
You know what? And a late reaction by the transition D takes it himself uncontested.
Here's Evans. Up again. And there's Evans putting it right back in.
The leadership Evans gives this team. When the game is on the line, you can depend on him.
Ginobili kicks to Aldridge. Parker passes to Gasol. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant 1 there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Big shots there. They are clearly in control of this game now.
Parsons checked in for Tyreke Evans. Right wing. Gasol kicks to Parker. Here's Aldridge, and it's good on the assist by Parker. And the Spurs lead by 8.
And we see it all the time, guys. You get the big lead, maybe check out mentally, but not tonight.
They have this game in hand, but they're still pouring it on.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
Coming into this game, he'd been having a tough stretch. We all know that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over. And Gasol with the dunk.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
You know, you feel on top of the world when it happens as a player, just the relationship you have with the fans.
Here's San Antonio. They've got a 12-2 run in progress. Aldridge dishes to Gasol. And he uses the glass on the layup. And it's a 12-point San Antonio lead.
And just staying aggressive, continuing to extend that lead.
They left nothing to chance. This is how you close out.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Well, we know Leonard's an elite two-way machine, but there he shows us the artistry.
Harrison passes to Davis. For the three, off target. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it.